It's the cabin of the EX30 that's become a huge talking point because it's like nothing else on the market, and I think that was intentional. Volvo's smallest, most affordable EV yet, and also arguably quite important for India. Why? Because the premium EV game here is finally getting exciting, and the EX30 is all set to stir things up. I have driven it in the US and in Sweden. Here's everything from both those drives. The EX30 was 2024 World Urban Car, and with good reason. It is based on Geely's C or SEA platform and is being positioned as a global urban EV. In India, it could also be the most affordable Volvo you could buy. So, time to pay attention. So when you look at it, you straight away know it's a Volvo, but it's a nice reinterpretation of the vertical Volvo stacked tail light. It's kind of split, and like I said, you still know straight away. If you didn't, you have the lettering to tell you. Overall, the proportions of the car is what really grabs me. Now, when I saw the pictures, I saw the videos, when the car first broke cover, sure, it looked compact. It looked more like a hatchback. Now you start to see that even though it is kind of compact, it still has like that little bit of that SUV character that kind of shines through when you see the car up front. I also like this exaggerated fender. It's kind of growing the wheel arch into almost bulging into the hood. I like that too because again, it's an SUV character. The wheels kind of tell you it's an EV. It's very smartly done, very stylish. This particular one with me is finished in cloud blue. Kind of looks like white or a light gray, but I can promise you it has a hint of blue in it. It's very Scandinavian. I know that sounds cliched, but it kind of works. And I think it looks really nice because it makes the car stand out. In front, you see the new face of Volvo EV. This is the new design language that you're starting to see, and especially the headlamp. It's still the Thor's hammer, but it's got its own new interpretation with the little rectangles that kind of form the overall shape. It's very nice. We saw it first on the EX90. Now it's on the EX30 as well. The iron mark also done in the new look, but it's kind of like what you've seen on the C40 and the XC40. And this particular car that's with us is a US spec, but of course there's going to be different versions of it. And I can tell you straight away that in terms of just being very apt, very suited to our market, I think it ticks a lot of boxes. This is where the EX30 goes full Scandinavian. The cabin is quirky, clean, and feels like it was designed in a Stockholm design studio using 100% recycled coffee grinds. Of course, Volvo has been talking about sustainable materials and fabrics, so you see that on the seats, you see that here on the dash. This is a recycled plastic that's been integrated with a granite look to try and give it, Swedish granite feels. And that's all very quirky and nice. But when it comes to a premium brand product, there are certain things that start to look just a little too Spartan. The fact that you don't have an instrument cluster, the fact that the door is so bare, it has absolutely no controls except for the door handle. Even the window switches are here in the middle. You can operate the rear ones by pressing rear and then using the same buttons. So it's different, it's quirky, but it's not everyone's cup of tea. Now, the big 12.3-inch vertical screen is what obviously gets all of your attention. It's packed with a whole lot stuff we've seen on previous Volvos, Android Auto integrated because of course it runs on Google. And none of that is surprising, so I'm not going to waste my time on it. It works well, but it takes getting used to. The part that's irritating again is that no instrument cluster means you've got to keep looking here for all the vehicle dynamics when you're driving as well. But here's the cool part. Storage is clever. Think IKEA style solutions. Sliding panels, hidden cubbies, multiple USB-C ports, and dual wireless charging too. There's no traditional glove box, but you get just tons of space here. There's two electric points here, or wireless chargers, I should say. And then they've got a little bit of a hidden space here. The bin just gets deeper. Inside that, you see two USB-C points. Huge amount of space. It's nice. The materials are kind of soft to the touch, and things don't slide or bounce around. That's quite nicely done. You also got this hidden storage space right here underneath the armrest. Now that's clever because you've got the two cup holders, or you can just slide this panel back, and again, lots of space for your stuff. You don't want that, well, you can even just go halfway, or just bring out the cup holder for a single drink. So that's all very cleverly done. The material quality is pretty good. It fits and moves and connects to everything in a really good way. So you expect that from Volvo. That's what you get. Comfortable seats, surprisingly spacious, but at the end of the day, this is a small car. Yes, it feels a bit Spartan at times, but also incredibly smart. It's a car designed for Gen Z sensibilities with a premium twist. 5 stars from Euro NCAP, multiple airbags, stability control, ISOFIX, ADAS optional in international trims at least. No surprise here, it is a Volvo. Safety is basically part of the DNA. Now there are multiple powertrain options with the EX30 globally. There's a single motor version, also a long range, the more powerful dual motor version. So many choices. So what's going to come to India? Well, I drove the single motor extended range and also the dual motor all-wheel drive versions across Los Angeles and Gothenburg. Power delivery is smooth and predictable, perfect for urban crawls and highway glides. Steering is light but accurate. Cornering feel is composed. The dual motor version does add a little extra zing, but unless you're really looking for all-out acceleration, the single motor is really good enough. And also for our market, I think. This baby Swede drives with quiet confidence. Doesn't scream for attention. It just shows up, delivers, and leaves the room cooler than it entered. That extended range variant, with its claimed range of 475 kilometers, uses a 69 kilowatt-hour battery and makes the most sense for our market. And that battery is already being used on the EX40. Its urban appeal really sets the tone for the baby Volvo. But at the end of the day, it all boils down to how they'll price this car. For the last few years, all the EVs we've been seeing, especially from the premium brands, they've been all about being sort of technology showcases. So they're really sort of premium in terms of their pricing, they're luxurious, and they're big. But buyers don't necessarily always want cars like that. They want something that's more practical, which is why when the XC40 Recharge came to the market and then the C40 Recharge, they really stood out because they were compact, they were practical, and they were EVs. With the EX30, I feel like that conversation is going to become even more relevant because it's cars like these that people really want to actually drive. It's cars like these that people really want to buy, and then they're interested in EVs, but they don't want to be alienated by a really huge sticker price. So Volvo's played that part really smartly. In the context of what happens if this car was to come to our market, of course, I know the duty structure puts a lot of question marks on it in terms of how much you could price it. But then we have the C40 and the XC40 Recharge, and we've seen the kind of pricing that they've been able to bring, which has been fairly aggressive. So the expectation with something like this becomes really interesting, really exciting. So do the BMW iX1, Hyundai Ioniq 5, Kia EV6, BYD Atto 3, and Mercedes-Benz EQA have another worthy competitor? If Volvo's pricing game is on point, with this one, yes indeed.